So we nearly have a vacuum, and thinking to myself, the dupes are going to get in here, and they are going to be breathing out carbon dioxide, so this probably isn't going to work anyway. But let's give it a try. Let's get rid of this hot pipe. It's all around here. We're going to start snagging some of this brine, directing it to go in here instead. We'll direct that brine to go into the rocket if it can. And with this... yeah, it may not even make... well, let's try a vacuum. The only real chance is, first of all, a dupe has to get past this area without passing out. I don't even know if that's possible. Second of all, as soon as they breathe some carbon dioxide out, even with the vacuum, we're still going to have a problem. This is all falling apart just because of one thing that I can't do, which is make this out of steel. Note to self, even if I have Atmos suits, I still would have want this to be steel. Though with Atmos suits, and if this didn't melt, if it didn't have molten copper, what I'd probably do is I'd seal this back up, put in some liquid. Right now, if I were to put liquid in here, it is just going to roll out, which isn't super ideal, but I'm doing this without Atmos suits. That's kind of the challenge. We are less than 100 MCGs. As soon as we get down to a complete vacuum, we'll let the dupes in and see what happens. Let's just verify we've got a triage COTS. Yeah. This is not going well. I can feel it. I am not feeling optimistic about this move. 20 MCG. 16, 15. We'll establish a vacuum. But like I said, these guys breathe out carbon dioxide if they're not. Now, if I had Atmos suits, they wouldn't be doing that. I'm seeing the value of going out in space with a crude rocket before a super rocket now. This was what the whole premise of this playthrough was, really, at this point. Can I do this? But even, to be fair though, even if this had worked, I still don't think this is what I would want to do. I still would want to go over, because I could already have Drecos. With Drecos, I would have reed fiber. I could make Atmos suits. I could have the glossy type. I could have plastic. Okay, so hold on. Don't stand there. Please don't stand there. Well, they're tough guys. I mean, yeah, he's taking some damage, no doubt. And we're about to reload the beginning, so I can't quite see where this is. Okay, as soon as you're done, you need to leave. So we do have some dupes that... oh, someone needs help. Liquid is falling. Okay, alright, so everyone's out. Chop is dying. Heat stroke. Can someone save them? I think they're done for. Got a chop going on. Someone's going to try to rescue them. I don't think they're going to make it, to be honest. We did get our liquid here. That was one of the questions I have. I have that answered, at least. If I had made this out of steel, no one would have had to go in here in the first place. And I could be dropping some brine in. That's lowering the temperature down. Now we're down to 300 degrees. It's going to take more liquid than it would if I could close this off, but I mean, technically it works. It's just the amount of time that it takes and focus away from other priorities, it does not make sense, but it's kind of cool. The other question is, Chop going to make it? I'm actually surprised to see that they are alive. Though answering the question, could this be done at this point? Thanks to a little bit of iron before. So this is the first rocket I've never sent a rocket up yet. And yet here is a rocket that has these 2 tiles melted. In fact, more. We're cooling it off. I could have done it without some dupes damage if I had a thought to make that out of steel. And 150 or so degrees. And from this point on, I don't have plastic, so I can't make a steam turbine. And do I close this off? That's going to be a task that some dupes will probably take some damage to do, but maybe they can get in here and do that. Which is going to waste a little bit less, prevent a little bit waste of liquid. Let's just continue on to see if at least that can be done somewhat safely. I can't really say safely. Where did Chop go? Was Chop done? He didn't say anyone had died. Vitals to slow down. I'm just curious. Follow cam. Oh, they're back. Okay. Well, I think they're going to make it. And is that a hospital? It is. Okay. And the dupes were able to get in here. So yeah, I mean, now that liquid can build up, this is dropped down to 50 degrees. Yeah, this would work. I've got my rocket. I could technically get out. I probably want to wait for more liquid to get in here to bring temperature even further down. And then drain this out. I could build out my super rocket. I could get out here and start exploring. And it's my first rocket of this type. Though, as I mentioned, this is not a game changer by any means. I thought it maybe would, but no. I definitely do not want to have done this this way if I had gone back. But I did learn a lot, so it is possible to do this. This is thanks to these special little material that's dropped off. I couldn't have done this if I didn't have iron ore. Though I did get iron printed, so actually maybe I could have done it with that. But I would have had the luck of the draw on that one. Alright, notes to self for the future. Basically, don't start farming at this point. That's not the priority. The berry farm, that's okay, but trying to make frostburgers at this point was too early. This guy here really caused a problem for a certain amount of time. Hydrogen, we've really fixed that now, but note to self, just be careful in there. Unlike a lot of the other systems, I get infinite storage of natural gas, carbon dioxide, hydrogen. We get a system here to clean this. I really like the fact that I didn't have to flip back. I've actually ignored these guys for quite a while. But normally I kind of have half the amount of dupes here, half the dupes here, and I'm just going back and forth so much. So I really like the fact that I didn't have to do that. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a thought about priorities order. I'm not going to be trying this trick out until I have Atmos suits. I want to get back at this asteroid. I'm going to choose a different radioactive ocean asteroid. Do the same thing, except for the fact that I'm going to concentrate on what I know works. This was very much an experimental playthrough that technically worked, but it's not worth it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you in another playthrough while I try out these various asteroids to see how well I can do in building a spot for these dupes to survive and exist on. Until then. I think I'm going to make one change here. I'm going to up this by 100 degrees. To allow a little bit of extra heating just to complete this. We're getting very close. 2300. But if we make it a little bit hotter, make the final phase of this go a little bit quicker. While that's going on, how about I present my thoughts. Oh, let's go inside here. This new hotter liquid. 2700 degrees this time. It's bringing us up. I'll start to reflect, excuse me, I'll start to reflect a little bit on this playthrough. This was, I have a lot of systems that go well. This is one of them, melting the side of a rocket wall. There's lots of other systems that are well. The one thing that I haven't been able to do is figure out the priority of when to do certain things. Whoa! Whoa! What happened? That's all of a sudden. Where did that come from? That would... Oh, that could be the obsidian. No, it wouldn't be obsidian. Was there something on the floor? I should have cleaned the floor before we had gone on. That is, that's a shame, but this may be okay. I think we're certainly going to melt the wall. The question I have is, can I get the dupes in here safely? Not at the moment. Certainly not at the moment, but can I cool this off somehow? I still don't know whether this will actually work. But, yeah, we're close, getting up there at 2400. But yeah, just some thoughts so far. This was a mistake, putting in water weeds and sleet wheat before the deep freezer and automation to take eggs out. Actually, speaking of which, start that process now of picking up eggs and having that dropped off. Can also have a system to repopulate these guys because I've been watching this manually. Some more. Where is this coming from? It's like magma's just appearing. That's a bit of a mystery. It's not going to be a problem, I don't think, for the time being. But yeah, like we got the carnivore and locavore achievement. That went well. Hydrogen is awesome. We've got tons of that. Though we did have... That was one of the things that very much went wrong. That hydrogen went all over the base. So in my future setup for this, I've got to remember, close this off. Or have a liquid airlock. It can be difficult with a liquid airlock. So I don't want that wherever liquid to be there to freeze. So I have to be careful about that, but a simple door I think is enough to prevent hydrogen from getting up. Also having infinite storage for this to pump to be able to handle excess hydrogen early on is beneficial. But yeah, it's just the priority of things that I think I get. One thing I did do, which is very different than my playthroughs, is I didn't have a very large base set up over here. I think I might have brought 1 or 2 dupes on earlier just to increase the quality of life, build a washroom a little bit quicker, get access to the showers, get access to a power plant with a hydrogen generator, and then turn it down. I still like the idea, though, that this doesn't have any purpose other than now that this is done. Its purpose is done. It was I only went here to get some metal ore, to get some eggs, and a few other materials such as these guys. Probably the fact I don't have an optimal deep freeze over here. Not a big deal, but I definitely should have already had one here. Let's look inside the rocket. I don't want to miss the special moment. Getting close. Even more magma. Where's that coming from? Oh, salt gas. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Heat dam. Yeah, it would. Oh, no. That is. Oh, salt gas. That was the salt that's in there. Where did that come from? I had a vacuum in there. It's not the ladders that itself that are... I don't know what went wrong. I don't think this will work then. Oh, so close. And we just significantly dropped temperature because of that salt brine. Oh my gosh. Ah. Ah. I almost think it's... I don't know what it was that melted and created this. We're still getting... I mean, I can still melt this. That's going to drain this material. It still may work. It just may not... My original plan may not happen. No! Wow. Okay, just trying to think. Do I go back to figure out where this came from? Ladder made out of obsidian. It's not the ladder. Insulated pipes that were not made out of obsidian has melted. Sure, that's understandable, but how did they melt in the first place? That's what I'm not quite getting a grasp of. Well, then. I might roll back a little bit to see if there's anything I can do, but that might be it. That might be a big fail on this project. I still think it's possible. If I could figure out what... now we get molten copper. Oh, great. Yeah, let me roll back. At least, if nothing else, I want to learn from this to see what went wrong. Now, let's make this, set this up for copper, so we can get some tune-ups. Actually, I don't know if that's, no, it's not strictly needed because we get microchips from below. So I'm thinking, let's cool off the water that's down here. Create some radiant pipes that go around. Like that. Actually, I should make the rest of this out of granite. Okay, so this is going to go and visit the aqua tuner. So we're going to need to find a path up. See, what are we going to get? Some copper? Why not? We'll want to have another path going up. Essentially going to have an up line and a down line. It's going to plug into this. We're going to fill this with some brine, I'm thinking. Or maybe the salt water since it's warmer. Now what I'm going to do is actually connect it like this right now for now. Just want to make sure we cycle stuff out. So I have to decide which is going to be the up. I'm going to say the left side is going to be the up direction since the input is right there. So which that means this is going to be the down direction. Just have to navigate a path over here. What is this line? Oh, that's the water out. Avoid that teleportation equipment. What about that one? That's supposed to be, oh, we're out of water. Aren't we? Yeah, okay, that's fine because I'd planned for this. So now I want to bring in water from the other asteroid. That is going to be the teleportation equipment to drop stuff off. That's this here, actually. So let's send this down. Well, let's send this down actually in priority such that the water from the cleaning system is going to go in first. And this is definitely the priority right now. One thing I don't use a lot is alerts. I might think about trying to do that. This guy here doesn't actually need to be changed out. Yeah, I didn't quite make it in time. Someone made a mess. 2 people made a mess. Need to do a mop up then. Yeah, this is getting messy. Now, do we have water going in? We do, okay. So water is starting to arrive back again. So that's water line going that way. It's an old polluted water line. Let's get rid of that. So we can see what's going on here. Now we'll see if we can complete our cooling line. How do I want? Let's do this type of thing. Cross over here. Cross over like this. This is going to be the up line. Liquid bridge right here. There, and there. And this is going to be the down line. Connect over like this. Which means we don't need that bridge. We'll connect this over. We need to also make sure we get the salt water into this system. So this is going up, this is going down. And we will cross this, and then we'll also put in something like this. Actually, maybe I'll just do it over one. So we can actually load some salt water in there. Alright, well, I don't think it's going to take these guys too long, but I'll leave them alone for a little bit, and we'll see if they can complete this. Just realized we've got no suits here. Not sure why that is. Do we have some sort of ability to get around without realizing it? Let's make several more of those. We're auto-repairing them, right? Yep, worn masks are being repaired over here. up the priority of that. We should have a fair bit of clay thanks to the this setup here. Just clay just sitting there, ready to be moved over. Going to build another liquid reservoir. Fill this up with a little bit more polluted water. There's some mopping up there. Still confused as to why just one particular dupe is so stressed out. It might be because they have the most advanced skills way out here, though. It is something they enjoy, though. So, look at, oh, what might help is nature reserve, too. For that, let's wrangle a pip. So this should give us a natural tile. A pip can plant something right here. Oh, yeah, that was never going to work. Actually, I'm not sure if this trick works with airflow tiles. I think it does. But we certainly need every corner, well, the bottom corners, I mean, covered before we can destroy that door for this to work. So, that pip, let's move that right here. How are we doing with our barbecue meats? 20,000. Give me maybe time to get in here, do a hunt. Go in here. Before we do the hunt, though, let's just make sure we've got 7, 7, and 7. Probably need to wrangle some pips. 5, yeah, 1, 2, 3 of those. Another one. Okay. And then I'm going to allow everyone in here. And we're going to do a giant hunt. So that's probably going to take them a little bit of time. So I'm going to go away and let them do that for a bit. We'll put in our smart battery to turn these guys off when we've got enough power. Confirm we've got heavy watt wire going there. Smart battery has automation wire to turn that off. Oops, and we're exposed to space. Got the priority action. To be honest, it's probably not a bad thing, just relieving the hydrogen. Actually, hydrogen's flowing up. It's still accumulating here too much. With all these airflow tiles, I'm not sure why. Let's dig this out at least. Could be because we're producing too much oxygen here. That's just kind of not sorting itself out. Oh, let's just keep making more airflow tiles and hoping it's going to find a way. Definitely having regrets about not putting a door here much earlier. As great as this is for oxygen or hydrogen production, it's way too much if you're not careful, especially because this is going to be at the bottom of the base and hydrogen floats up, and well, we're in the current situation we are. This is way too cold too. This door doesn't have to be closed. Well, I don't think there's anything that actually needs to be done for the next colony achievement earned. Oh, I haven't really been superly watching. Now, carnivore achievement, there it is. Awesome. I was hoping that was the one. Now, that did work out really well in terms of minimizing the amount of time I use the incubator. I don't like using the incubator. Quite often, I push it through. Oh, I need to allow dupes here. Yeah, I wish I had have put in, I think that's just what I normally do is I would put automation over the ag processing. This is all the fact, I wouldn't be able to experiment with this without these special areas. I think, is that why I had phosphorite? Maybe not, because that doesn't look like a special area. Certainly the iron ore is not normally something that I can have access to up here. Now the normal watt wire on this side of things is no longer needed. This is just going to be heavy watt wire outside in space. So at this point, I think I'm just going to let the dupes catch up with their tasks. And I'll be back to give them some more instructions. Okay, so we're going to get in here. We're going to destroy this. Now we're going to have some carbon dioxide, which is not ideal. But we're going to have a regular tile, or yeah, regular pipe there. So this is obsidian line. It's going to go in like this. We need a ladder to get up there. So it's just a single pipe that's just regular material, not radiant. Radiant's actually too much. Make everything. I'm going to make some ladders like this, because what's going to happen is I'm not going to have access to Atmo suits. This is an opportunity. I don't know how this is going to work, but this is going to become really hot. The whole rock, it's not just this area here. I want to melt this and this. But this whole rocket is going to be melted. So this isn't just about melting the rocket wall, but I also want to make sure the dupes can get in here later on. Radiation poisoning is starting to be an issue. So there it is, all the molten steel sitting in there. That's awesome. So actually we can take that whole thing out now. But we will want to make sure we have a vacuum in this area by the time we're done. Make this out of steel. Honestly, I don't even know that there's a point making that insulated and steel. As long as a vacuum is created, this pump should be fine. Oh, but I'm just realizing we're going to want some power in here. But I don't want to have a dupe in here because of the whole temperature thing. So we actually do finally have a purpose for a material study terminal. Battery module. Which means this is going to be raised a bit. So I'll have to redo those pipes. Actually, this doesn't just give us protection. Maybe what I should have done is built this over, though. I'm pretty sure that doesn't affect radiation that's in here, even if you build something over that. So we should see, oh, we'll get our gift. Trade bars. We should see our material study terminal being used soon enough. So moving all that Wheezy warts over here at a point to it. Just realizing that to not do that right at all. So definitely want this guy. Yeah, I was probably burning some uranium ore. Not super ideal. Finally, this hydrogen has been breaking up. Getting out of the way. There's some salt water. Where's that coming from? Okay, I'm going to put some airflow tiles here. I'm not certain if that's actually necessary, but put that there anyway. So we're going to have a metal refinery right here. Oh, right. I want to make this out of ceramic. I don't have ceramic yet. Create some pieces of that down here. Do some mopping up. A very odd thing has just occurred. I've got molten steel, which is hot enough. It should be making its way up here, but it is just not. Disabled. So this is supposed to be disabled. And we do have a pipe. Here to here. I do not understand why this is all of a sudden. This was working completely fine. Unless that melted. No, I want to make that out of obsidian. That's supposed to liquid, insulated liquid pipe made out of granite. What? Granite. What? Same thing here. I really dislike the fact that it'll change the type of material that stuff is made out of without really letting you know when it run out low and something. Okay, let's look to see some iron. Why not? Is there any other pieces of obsidian floating around? Got a bunch over here. Go after that. Okay, that was a bit of a surprise, but anyway. So I want to have that as insulated obsidian. So yeah, for some reason, this whole system is just shut down. I guess that's because wrong material got built in those two tiles, unfortunately. So we're going to see some obsidian fall to the ground. We'll build a pipe here made out of obsidian. I wonder if material overlay is going to help. Not a whole lot. Can't really see the pipes that well. Alright, I assume that was just those two pieces of pipe. Another thing to check when you're putting this system, make sure every single piece of pipe is obsidian. But we still have molten steel here. It's just gotta have these two pieces of pipe fixed. Really hoping that's gonna direct molten steel back into the rocket because it is warm enough. Slowly cooling down. I don't want it to freeze in the pipes. It's going to be a while though before we get to that point. I could get someone to build that for me, that'd be awesome. High priority task, guys. See someone picking up obsidian. Got our triage cots, just in case that's needed. Making the ascent. The other thing is, if I had the Drecos, I probably already have plastic ladders. So I'm not seeing the benefit of trying to build this so early over getting access to things like Drecos. That didn't work. But what? What? I'm gonna do a reload. I feel like something is going weird. And I discovered the problem. We are on cycle 115. I see a piece of igneous rock that was left behind. Ah, how frustrating. If I move this out of the rocket, there may be a chance of fixing this. There just might. Gonna do that high priority. Now, if the dupes get in there, and as long as they don't exhale, I'll have to allow them in. That's the whole key. I cannot have anyone exhale and create carbon dioxide in here. So someone should be on the way up to put on a gas mask. Last might be the one. If they go in that rocket. Please, please, just don't exhale. You gotta go in for just get out, get out, get out. All right, so that is. Wait, what are you doing? Oh no, 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 no. No, no, no. You didn't exhale, did you? No, we still have a vacuum. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, let's change this back to up this by 100 degrees. No, I said up. I have this set to be run everything. Okay. Alright, well, I just have to know still. Okay, with that chain, that's actually a really good note for creating, doing this project in the future. Do not have material on the floor, in particular something that's not obsidian. But I was able to fix the problem, even though this rocket is screaming hot. 1200 right now. We've had to roll back a few cycles. But at this point, I think I'm just going to walk away for a little bit, and I'm just, at this point, I pretty much just want to see this through. I know that my overall playthrough didn't go the way I had envisioned. It was an experiment, though, so I can't necessarily say I'm surprised. Anytime experimentations happen, oxygen not included, it often goes wrong, and I'm fine with that as long as I learn from it. So I definitely have learned a few things. Don't bother growing this stuff. You're not going to get enough natural gas unless you've got some Drecos. I should already have Drecos by this point, at least one or two in a stable. But I've kind of been distracted by experimentation. It's not a bad thing. It's a chance to learn and adapt and make an even better playthrough in the future. But yeah, I think that's the main thing is I wish, or in a normal playthrough, which I'm going to do, I'm going to start after this. I don't know if I'm going to go to the radioactive ocean or go to the default. I think I am going to go do another radioactive ocean asteroid. I'm going to try filming that one a little bit differently. So I'm going to still show how I'm building stuff, but I'm going to do a little bit more of the highlights. So I'm going to try actually creating the design, letting the dupes create it and come back when it's created, and showing how I'm building things as I go along. We'll see how that goes. But for the time being, I'm going to let the dupes alone. Let's just make sure they've got enough food. Don't want to come back to a bunch of starving dupes. We're good right now. And we will let this get to be pretty warm, and hopefully I'll be back just before the melting point. Okay, I really thought that we'd be complete now. It's all these rock or stone hatches that are kind of giving a bit of an issue. Oh, and no one can access you, but do we get a pip over here? Okay, so we did get a pip up here. Let's destroy this. Yeah, I'm regretting not putting or trying the Frostburger idea instead of automation around hatches. So we'll allow everyone to go in here now. Stop everyone from going in there, and we'll make this a priority 6 to drop off the eggs. Okay, so we still need some more pips in there. So we'll angle 2 of those. Don't want to build, I guess that guy's just going to get free at some point. I don't want to have access to there because I think they could stand there and put stuff in this material. And I want to control access to for certain times. Okay, oh yeah, where is research? We're getting close. Okay, we'll have our batteries soon enough. Do we have enough? Oh, just enough. This is funny. This is the ceramic. So that's going to be built right there. Obviously, we need heavy wire for that. Get rid of that. Put a bin of some of the input materials for this. Actually, I might want to make the bin a little bit lower just because I'm going to need a little bit of room to put some piping and temperature checking in around here. Okay, so I'm going to be putting in a battery here. This is going to raise it, I think, by 2 tiles. So what I actually would want to do then is have this look like this instead. Just to make sure we've got all the obsidian we need. Let's dig out. We don't have a lot more. Is there anywhere else with the obsidian? Oh, I see 2 pieces here. So I've just reloaded. And I still have an issue. I'm lost. Let's destroy this. I'm lost. Why did this just all of a sudden, and of course, not only that, but of course the temperature here would have dropped again because I did a reload down to 2000. Game. Why are you doing this? What is wrong? Let's take this out and see if this solves the issue. Oh. Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. Annoying, but I get it. So that was also out of granite. I couldn't see it because there was liquid pipe thermosensor there. Wait, what happened? Did I have granite there? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is very irritating. Let's say, I'll just demonstrate this. If I make this out of obsidian, then I run out of obsidian, see how it went to granite, and then I start building stuff. I don't realize necessarily that I'm now building out of granite. I hate that thing. I wish that there was some setting to get rid of that mode, because that has gotten me many times where I built something out of material that I did not. It happens often with lead. You build something out of metal, and you don't realize that you're building something out of lead, and it melts. Or takes damage anyway. Okay, well, figured out what it was. It was more than just one pipe. Let's check this. Obsidian, obsidian, obsidian. Oh, granite up there too. I saw it somewhere. Right there. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to trace everywhere where I expect granite to have been. So we can get that changed out if need be. Oh. What did that, what was built right there out of obsidian? Okay. And, I wonder if we need a few more pieces of this stuff. There might be a geyser I've not dug out yet. Kind of got my 2 liquid geysers. One over there, but there's no obsidian. There's more than one geyser, or 2 geysers, right? Pretty certain. Now there is this. But if I did that, maybe we should put a tile there first. So I think we have enough. Okay, so we're flowing again. Unfortunately, because I thought I had to do that reload, we have to wait for things to heat up just a little bit. So I'm going to leave this alone and be back when this is nearly ready to start melting again. Okay, so let's see what... oh, this lamp has not had a chance to turn on, so I'll build a path like that. Create a tile here and here. I'm gonna be honest, not overly impressed with the playthrough, but we've got to see this through. Where are we? I'm gonna keep going until we at least melt and try to cool. I still don't know whether this is going to work out with, oh, you know what? Things could go wrong. Very, very wrong. Let's build a hospital. Just in case that could be needed, because I would, well, I would not be surprised if it did. I'm going to have that close to the top where I think the injuries are very likely to occur. Do that, let's say here. So we need a door. Some airflow tiles here and here. Put tiling in the first section. We want the triage cots to be right in the beginning. There, here. Let's put 3 of them. In order to make a hospital, I don't often make a hospital. So you need a mess table, medical equipment, and toilet. Toilet at the back. Put 3 mess tables in. Let's see, let's put in some lights as well. So we'll have 1 light for the first 2 triage tables. And 1 for the second one, or third one. That light's going to need some power. Maybe this won't be needed, but I'm not overly optimistic. So yeah, I'm pretty certain we're going to have no problem melting this. We're just going to continue what we've been doing. This is operating. One thing this tile does give me is radiation protection, not just asteroid or meteorite protection. Alright, let's let the dupes create that, and I'll be back in a little bit to see how they did. So I'm very curious to see a meteorite shower, to see what effect happens on this setup. I can actually make a second layer, which I don't know if it's necessary or enough for that matter. Now, thinking about this, I'm going to need heavy well, not necessarily a heavy watt wire system, but I'm going to want to have more power up here. Just have to think. I could either do a conductive wire going up or bring heavy watt wire up. For this, though, I think we're going to need some copper. Okay, let's stop our... I think we've got enough steel. Actually, let's just make that a priority 4. You'll produce some copper ore. So the other thing that I could potentially do, is make a power plant up here, actually. That might not be a bad idea. Because I've got excessive amount of hydrogen. Instead of trying to make everything run off one generator, I think I'll try doing that. It's just going to reduce the size needed, the amount of heavy watt wire. Or conductive wire, depending on how I end up choosing to go about this. So we're going to put in power control station. Okay, so we'll need, I'll wait until some copper is created for that. But let's put in 2 generators for hydrogen. How do I best do this? If I do this and make some mesh tiles. Made that out of the wrong material. Mesh tile made out of copper, please. Right here and here. We'll make 2 more. See some fossil we can get there. Whoops. Oh, I see. So we'll want to have a smart battery connected to that. The wire that's there now we'll get rid of. Oh no, I want to keep that actually. Have this guy like... Put that up there. It's going to be a heavy watt wire that goes into this new power plant. And makes its way up there. We need to have a smart battery over here to control these 2 guys. Whoops, a little too far. Okay, we are back, and ooh. Oh no. Let's make this forever until this project's complete. We've got a breakage. How much? Oh, we may have lost some molten steel, but that was waiting to get in here. Where are we now in terms of temperature? 1300. Yeah. So I left for a bit, and yeah, we did get into a bit of a problem. But now I'm going to make this run forever. So that should take care of that. I see some salt water has not made it out. Oh, thought I put that in there. Oh, right, because there was a plant in the way. Alright, so this is looking a little bit cleaner here. We already have, since the last hunt, a few of these guys left. Which is a good sign, because that means we're producing lots of meat. An interesting thing, though, is... Oh, let's see. Where are we? 7. 7 and 7. Interesting thing, though, is I don't need to actually keep these... see, I think there's one that's starving. Okay, we need to, at some point, get in sandstone from over here. I don't believe they need to be fed every day. Find out some sandstone. Put sandstone in here. Okay, so that stable is done. It'll no longer need to be a stable again. Which is nice because I can now dig out some of this material and not worry about having a stable that's too big. Okay, do we have a hospital? We do, okay. Well, not only that, I do see some dupes that are a bit injured. I'm going to actually give this a use then, pop and rock. I haven't really been giving my skills out. Can tell that just things aren't feeling that great but about this playthrough. But let's give this guy, girl, some advanced medical care just in case that's needed. Well, it is needed because I've got 2 dupes on the way. Let's make care have the priority of doctoring. So there is Pop, sitting in the triage cot. I'm actually wondering where, I wonder if it's one of these guys somewhere along this space that's attacking. Game doesn't do a great job of showing you where the dupes take damage. Maybe in here, but I don't know why the dupes would be going near that guy, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. I have no idea. Well, we want to keep this running. Where are we? Getting close to 2100. I think I may wait for this to get near the melting point to be back to see the rocket wall melt. Where are we with food? Good. Enough 150, almost 150,000 barbecue meat. We can wait before doing another hunt. So I've trusted the dupes alone for a while. I can see that we've got some hydrogen generators, which is nice. Now I need to connect this with hydrogen. Now the thing is, I don't want to connect it to this pipe here. I actually want to connect it to the infinite storage of the hydrogen. So from this side over. So have this go up like this. And send this hydrogen into that. We'll put in this setting of 95. See, can we make our power control station? We'll make that out of copper ore right here. This building I used to find so difficult to place because I was always pretty certain it was much wider than it actually is. Okay, now that I've got this, we'll plan this section. So we'll want to have a liquid reservoir out in space. This is going to hold. Now, it's important this be on airflow tiles because it's going to heat up, be quite warm. Because it's going to contain some molten steel. We'll also want to have a place where we actually create the molten steel. So this is going to be the storage for molten steel. Oddly enough, this guy here doesn't need to be made out of steel as long as I have this on airflow. Now this is where things could go terrible because I don't have atmosuits, but I need to know. I need to know if this would work. Just so curious. So we need to put in this as well. This is airflow all around. The other question is how much... Oh, I can see I need to research something. Drywall. I don't know where that is actually. Is that a decoration item? It is. Okay. Shouldn't take too long. And we'll want heavy wire going up here. We're going to want to have an in and out pipe for a new coolant line. So let's go and access rid of some of that old piping. So you see some sandstone has started to arrive. Dupes are putting in some material in the feeder, critter feeders. So that metal refinery currently is not being used. Now what I can do while this is going on is we'll start the process of having ag automation put in. So we'll need some auto sweepers. We have 1, 2, and 3. Oh, apparently not. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So this is going to take ags and bring them over, or at least out of the stable. In order to do this, let's create some tiles here and here. This is something I should have done before I made the farms. I'm going to try to make this get out of the stable as soon as possible. We'll have this dropped off. We'll just do the same spot for now. And chuck those eggs down there. These two machinery are going to need some power. Go up like that. We'll let the dupes think about this, and I'll be back in a little bit to check that out, plus see where we are with the rocket. So I just did a reload, and I don't think it did this. I don't know if an update to the game has changed. I'm going to connect this. Wow. Oh, wait. Oh, I remember. You got to let it play a set. That's right. That's what it is. So you reload, it's going to be very hot, but then you let it play for a second, and then all of a sudden it's going to drop. Okay, So that is going to ensure that this guy doesn't melt. Now we're not done. We're only just beginning. Now I've got the issue of cooling this place down. So we got to get cooling it down safely. So let's disable this. Let's direct any molten steel, first of all, to not go into here. We'll get rid of this guy. We will stop directing molten steel to go inside the rocket. We don't need any more heating. We've got enough of that. I'm going to make a connection right here. And we're going to have molten steel get out. So let's look in here. Connect that like that. So molten steel should be on the way out. Why am I getting more molten steel in? I think that should be done. Alright, the molten steel is out of the way. Now that, now it becomes, that melted, huh? That melted, huh? Oh no. Oh, I should have made that. First of all, I should have made it out of steel. Ouch. Ouch. So many subtle things can go wrong. Yeah, I thought to myself, that doesn't need to be steel. It's in a vacuum. I forgot the after fact of this. We're going to try to see if molten copper. Nah, that's like copper. I shouldn't have made that out of steel. Now I'm going to have a more difficult time cooling this down safely. If I can at all. Well, let's, I'm just going to wait till this molten copper drains away, if it can. Ouch. If I had Atmos suits, I could mop up. Now, if that didn't happen, my plan was to use this, if that had been steel, to see if I could direct some liquid through here. But I don't know if it can, because this is very hot obsidian, 1500 degrees. I was going to try to redirect that like this. But now I've got to get a dupe in here to do this. And this is where this whole thing may fall apart and just not happen. If I had made that out of steel, maybe I have a chance of having this to work. But people are going to pass right out as soon as they walk in here. I'm pretty sure. And this isn't draining out that well. I guess molten material globs, unlike water. And we've got steam now. The steam will go away. That will make it a little bit easier. I'll come back when this is actually a fully vacuum area to see if I can get a dupe in here. I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try. So we just have one lone hatch who is elderly on this particular asteroid anyway. Okay, so we'll put some salt water here. Temperature here has actually gone down. It was up to 40 degrees, now it's 34-ish. The overall base is a little on the warm side, though it should be pretty easy to cool. This building's quite hot, 140. Thankfully it's made out of ceramic. Do have a cooling process going around. See, make sure that brine is still there. Yep. 1400. We've got about 1,000 degrees to go. So I think we're more than halfway. Let these guys do some cleanup and I'll be back. So just while this continues to heat up, I realized I no longer have my hospital. Let's put, even if we don't get a hospital, at least some triage cots together. Because we still have to cool off this rocket. If we actually manage to melt it without melting this tile. Which I'm pretty sure it's going to be easy now that I remember what I did last time. Pretty much just do a save and reload when I get these two tiles. And that's going to drop the temperature. And then use the water post that. So we're up to 2325 or so. Liquid going in is 2900. So that's going to continue to rise. Now this tile here is an insulated tile. If I had Atmos suits, I would have had someone go in and put in just a regular pipe tile there instead of insulated tile. So that may be why it's slowing down, but I should be getting here. This also may explain why this is tending to melt alongside this. That is a disadvantage of not having Atmos suits at this point. 2350 almost. There we are, above 2350. 2360. Approaching 2370 maybe. So as we increase in temperature, that temperature has to be distributed across the rocket. So when we don't get liquid, the temperature starts to drop, because it's just transferring heat all around like this. Still have a hatch to wrangle. I think one of the regrets I'm having about this base is instead of trying to grow or make frost burgers, making sleet wheat and lettuce. I see some lettuce sitting in there. Oh, that's probably because the fridge, yeah. Let's put everything in there. What is in here? Meal lice. We don't actually need, I can just let meal lice sit on the ground. Of course, it's just going to be put in another fridge, won't we? Unless we... Yeah, that's fine. Just make a little bit of room in the fridge. Just prioritize what gets in there. Meal lice that is there is just going to stay in the deep freezer, so that's not going to go bad. I see one of the tiles has melted. We don't have any liquid over here. So that's an important thing to learn. Just waiting for... Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, okay. I don't care that these two tiles melted, but I do not want this tile to melt. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do a couple things. We'll stop creating, or you know what, we'll just disable that building to collect everything there. We're going to stop putting hot liquid inside this rocket. So we'll do that. We will connect this here. But we will not change that from non-obsidian over inside this rocket. We're going to drain this material out. We're going to dump some liquid in, just to make sure this guy gets to have some cooling. Alright, we can press play. Ah! Well, it didn't work out. Let's roll back to beginning of the cycle. So I rolled back to cycle 120 to see, and oh, there's magma already in this corner. And once you get a piece, I can see why this whole thing falls apart, because that's going to melt. What's that going to melt? The bladder's made out of obsidian though, so I'm not quite sure where this is coming from, this magma. Right now, this is 16 degrees, so this stuff is completely fine at the moment. But where am I getting additional magma? So this is going to multiply somehow. And I just don't have... I'm just going to put it at top speed. How does that increase in size? If this was it, if this was the only piece, this wouldn't actually be a problem. I've got obsidian sitting here. That's getting hot. I really should have removed that from the rocket, but it's not really a big deal. There was something that was non-obsidian sitting right there. That might explain it. Now, hold on, magma. What temperature does that turn to a gas? Oh, that's not good. We can't have magma here because this is going to turn to rock gas, which is going to melt this, which will melt, the liquid vent and cause even more hot liquid. But I still don't know where the first piece of this came from. Let's go back to cycle 119. Just before leaving them alone, I realized that a few of them can access this machine, so we need to dig that out. I'm going to have to lower that priority. I'm going to put a tile here and here. So melting this rocket wall is a very finicky thing. I'm going to make an adjustment here. It's maybe too late. I might have to go back another cycle, but make that 2450. Go inside this rocket this time. Let's see if we can get this to melt. So I shouldn't be getting liquid in. Well, of course, it's probably too late cooling that off. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, that's right. I got a drop in temperature. Every time you reload, you get a drop in temperature. Oh, that was something I... Oh, yeah, I could have done that. I forget about that trick. Okay. If that happens again, I know exactly what I'm going to do. But I'll have to let this reheat up. Because I believe what happens is there's these tiles that cool everything off a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get this back up to heat once again. Okay, so I see things have heated up a bit. We're above 2400 degrees. And I'm thinking to myself more of how am I going to cool this down safely? I know it can cool it down. I can do initial cooling with this safe reload. But post that, it's all about, can I do this with not killing any dupes or having too many of them pass out from heat stroke. 2415 we're up to. So the temperature of liquid going in is 2900. Here we're getting very close, just a couple degrees to when this can melt. 2420, 2416. So this one's a little bit warmer, I think. They're pretty close. Now, this is again, I mentioned if I had Atmos suits, I could have increased the rate of this melting by changing this from insulated to just regular pipe made out of obsidian still. Okay, stop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a save right here and reload. Let's just take a note of the temperature of things. This is 2421, 2418 or so, 2420. And I'll try reload. Cycle 119, I still have some magma right here, so let's go to 118. Okay, cycle 118 still has that piece of magma. Let's go back several cycles, maybe 115.